Welcome to the Symprio signal. I'm Maya.
And I'm Arun. What's on the docket for us today?
We've got a new post up on the Symprio blog. It's about why finance teams are still using Excel to close the books, even after spending tens of millions on new software.
Oh, I know this story. Is this the one about the cake?
It is. A client spent, get this, almost 50 million on a new ERP system. They even had a cake made with the project logo on it.
And I bet the finance team still closes the books in a spreadsheet. It's a classic.
Yeah, but the post says what's really worrying is that the C-level exec is telling the story and laughing about it. The real work is still happening in a file called, let's see, close underscore AOG underscore final underscore V9 underscore latest 2 underscore use this one dot XL cell.
I've seen that file. I think I've been that file. So, what's the excuse? Why does this keep happening?
Well, the post makes a great point. It says your ERP knows what the process should be, the clean official one, but the spreadsheet knows what the process actually is. One of them is lying and it isn't the spreadsheet.
Okay, that's really good. I've never heard it put that way. The system is built for the ideal world, the clean process. But the real world,
Is one big exception after another. Exactly. The post calls it the real cast. The intercompany eliminations that never got harmonized, the accrual that arrives as a photo of a handwritten note in a WhatsApp group.
wait, the WhatsApp photo? That's not a joke, is it? That's real?
It's very real. The point is, none of that was in the original request for the system. All of it is the actual job. The expensive system was built for the clean process. The spreadsheet absorbs everything else.
So it's a feature? The spreadsheet is a feature that absorbs the exceptions the system can't handle.
Precisely. And there's a quote from a finance director that's the punchline. He says, a change in the system costs RM40,000 and takes 11 weeks. Excel costs nothing and takes an afternoon.
He's not wrong. You do the math, and the spreadsheet is the correct decision. So what's the fix? The post seems to suggest AI is this new silver bullet, but that sounds like the same hype we just heard about the ERP.
And that's the part I found most interesting. It says that's exactly what's happening. Companies are buying AI the same way: big announcements, big invoices, and a quiet agreement to keep doing everything in Excel. The MIT study they cite says 95% of pilots deliver no real impact.
So we're about to get a second monolith that doesn't work, sitting right next to the first one. Great. The cake supplier is going to do very well.
Exactly. But then the post makes a distinction. It says previous enterprise software demanded you clean up the mess first. Harmonize the charts, standardize the process, then the system works. But this new agentic AI can work inside the mess.
What does that even mean? Work inside the mess.
It means it can read the two unharmonized charts of accounts and suggest the mapping. It can see the WhatsApp photo, extract the number, and log it. It can handle that one-off adjustment the auditor asked for 5 years ago that nobody dares touch.
Okay, that's actually different. So it's not replacing the ERP. It's replacing the person who has to do all that manual exception handling work in the spreadsheet?
It's automating the exception handling, not the perfect path. That 20% of the work that never fit, that's where the ROI is. And there's another angle, a very Malaysian one.
Oh?
LHDN, the MyInvois e-invoicing mandate. Your invoice is getting to the tax authority faster than it's getting to your own general ledger. The regulators are asking questions a spreadsheet can't answer. How was this number derived? By whom? From what source? You can't just say, Janet knows, on an audit trail.
That's a huge point. It's not just an efficiency problem anymore, it's a compliance problem. So you have this external pressure forcing the issue.
Exactly. So the post outlines how you'd approach this, and it starts by interviewing the spreadsheet.
Interviewing the spreadsheet, I love that. Respectfully, because it has seniority.
You map the whole shadow layer, every workbook, who the keeper of the macro is, what happens if that person leaves. That's the most accurate map of how the business actually runs.
Hang on, say that again. So instead of trying to force the business into a systems model, you're building a solution to fit the business's actual, messy model. But I'm still a bit skeptical. You build this AI agent, and then a new exception comes along.
What happens then?
Yeah, You build the agent to handle the WhatsApp photos, but then someone starts sending them on Telegram. Are we right back to another RM40000 change request?
That's the final piece of their approach. They co build it with the client's team. The whole point is to transfer the knowledge so the client's team can then make those small changes themselves. If it still costs RM40,000 and 11 weeks after they leave, they haven't really fixed the trap.
Huh. Okay. So it's not just a tool, it's about changing the whole dynamic. The economics of the change. That's actually a pretty solid argument. It's not just software, it's a new process for handling change itself. So the almost 50 million wasn't a total waste then.
The Post says it bought a very solid 80%. The comedy and the ROI lives in the other 20%.
All right, I'm convinced. This is more than just an Excel problem. So, for someone who's been in one of those rooms, what's the one thing they should hold on to from all this?
I think the thing I'd hold on to is that the spreadsheet isn't the problem, it's a symptom. The problem is the gap between how you say you do things and how you actually do them. People aren't being stubborn by using Excel. They're being rational because it handles the things the expensive system can't.
And that means the solution isn't to ban Excel. It's to find a way to handle those exceptions better. And for me, the big shift is thinking about AI differently. It's not another big monolith to replace the ERP. It's a tool to fix that shadow layer of work that lives in the exceptions.
And the final point is that the clock is ticking. It's not just about efficiency anymore. With things like LHDN's MyInvois, the ability to show your work and have an audit trail is becoming non negotiable, and a spreadsheet can't give you that.
So in short, stop fighting the spreadsheet. Figure out what it's really doing. Use new tools to fix the exceptions, and do it before the regulators make you. If you know a finance director who's still crying over their month-end close, send them this post. It'll make them feel seen.
And you can read the whole thing, which goes into a lot more detail, on symprio.com. Just search for the post title.
Thanks for listening to the Symprio Signal. I'm Arun.
And I'm Maya. See you next time.